What's up, guys? Welcome back to Quick Stix, the podcast where we talk everything Premier Lacrosse League. We are back for episode 3, boys.
Episode 3.
Again, we'll be coming to you guys every Tuesday during the regular season and postseason, even though today's Wednesday. We're a day late. With me again are the other two co-hosts, James and Sam. How we doing, guys?
Pretty good. Crazy week of PLL. I'm excited to talk about it.
It was. Let's go ahead and jump right into some game recap. So, regular season officially in the books. We had a pretty solid lineup of games this weekend. So let's get it going. So first game we had was Redwoods Whip Snakes. So if you guys didn't catch this game, this was the Miles Jones versus Zed Williams game. Zed had 5 goals. Miles had 4 goals, 2 of which were filthy jump shots. So Miles made Whip Snakes defense completely focus on him. He had 3 assists. Everyone was sliding to him. He was just feeding guys like Kavanaugh and Garnsey right in the crease. For Whip Snakes, it was obviously the return of Matt Rambo. That dude, his presence just opens up the entire offense. It was actually like fascinating to watch. When Rambo was out, guys were sliding to Zed or like even double teaming Zed Williams. Yep. And that is completely gone. You've got Gutterding on the team. Rambo's back. He just brings a presence to the field, like that swagger that just like kickstarts that offense. And
absolutely,
I mean, they were firing on all cylinders on Friday. But the other thing I watched was Nardella on faceoffs. So he won 18 out of 30 against TD Ireland, which we were just talking before we started recording about TD's injury. But
yep,
I think Whip Snakes kind of exposed Redwoods a little bit. I think obviously you take away some possessions from them. They're definitely a beatable team, especially when you have the Whip Snakes offense. But Whip Snakes end up taking the game 14-12. Absolute electric start to the weekend. What'd you guys think?
Go ahead, Sam.
I thought it was a fantastic game. Adding to the fact that they had to wait, 3 hours for the rain delay? And then they still continued, like it was still rain. They still went at 10:30, I think. I forget what time. Very exciting game. The injury with TD is massive for them because I don't want to say they're a purely possession team, but that it definitely helps them and it's helped them this whole season. So I'm looking forward to seeing who they replace him with. And I mean, Rambo back. They went from scoring 7 at the beginning of the season when they first faced each other, and then they doubled it with Rambo back. So clearly you can see his effect on offense.
Right. And I thought the same thing. I remember last week we were talking about, even the week before that, we were like, I'd take whoever in this game unless Rambo's healthy. And we finally saw what happens when he's healthy. It also was evident that they waited definitely long enough for him to get 100%. As you said, Matt, he was attacking the cage. He was dodging, going to his left hand.
Oh, yeah.
I think the one that was actually broken. So that was great to see. But at the end of the day, our Matt Rambo, Trey Young analogy is spot on. They're a different team. And when he's on the court or on the field, they can double their score. So fantastic game. But Rambo's back, so Whip Snakes are back.
Yeah, it's going to get scary.
Absolutely.
Next game, Archer's Chaos. James, what do you got?
So this game was fantastic. Obviously, I'm a little biased as a Chaos fan, but Chaos won 9-11. This was a massive game. I told you guys last week about Chase Frazier coming to a game changer. He was going to be moving forward. He had 3 goals and some absolute nasty handles around the crease. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. He's a box indoor guy. The Archers, oddly, went very cold in the second half. The Chaos had more shots on goal than the Archers did, which honestly sounds like a typo. There was actually a period where the Archers didn't score for 10 minutes straight. And the Connor Fields trade is looking like it was perfect for both teams. Nobody lost that trade. He works perfectly in that offense. He looks comfortable. And I think it actually might have been something that the Archers did need as far as another attacking attackman. My favorite matchup by far was Chris Cloutier against Jared Connors. Jared Connors is probably one of the best rookies out there. 6'5", classic UVA defender. But Chris Cloutier is so small and he's so strong. He can kind of like get into the defender's body, make slides happen. Chris Cloutier also had 3 goals. Sadly, the biggest turn of the game was definitely Chris got hit in the shoulder. It was a really bad hit. As of today, he's on IR. He's definitely going to miss a couple of games. I'm hoping Chase Frazier can kind of bridge the gap there. But Chaos offense was actually clicking, and their defense played really well. I think something Sam and I talked about over the weekend, which is true, but actually wasn't necessary for this game, is Blaze had 10 saves. 10 saves the whole game. Chaos have never won a game when Blaze is only making sub 15 saves. So what does this game mean? Chaos offense is ready to go. Their defense is actually really good, and Blaze is as good as advertised. Chaos won 9-11.
Yep. There's Chaos's offense is just so much. It's so creative. Watching their past two games,
right?
Just their, I get the way their attackmen just create space either for shots or to get to the cage in some way. Like
right.
Who I don't think it was Frazier who had like the silly circus like through front of the cage in the crease and then like turned around and shot it.
Yeah, it was Chris Cluchia.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like what?
Right.
At the same time, like they make shit happen.
Right. All the time. And like real quick for a note for Sam and any of our viewers out there who haven't really watched a lot of lacrosse, a lot of the guys you guys are seeing on the Chaos team all play Canadian, they all play indoor, which means they have a lot less space. So you guys are seeing them create behind the back passes and short passes because that's the only way you can play the indoor game. They're bringing it to the outdoor game. So that's what you're seeing. Dean Smith, Chris Cloutier, Chase Frazier, all those guys are Canadians. All play indoor. Matt, anything?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much covered it. It was definitely not the way I expected that game to go. But
sure.
When you look at the stat line, you think Archer's offense just went cold, which they did, but that was mainly because of Chaos's defense, and it wasn't.
Yep.
It wasn't big. I mean, like you said, we were expecting Blaze to have 20, 25 saves
to
have 10 and still win that game is crazy. But I mean, when you look at the defensive side of the ball, it was like, I mean, Surdick, Rowlett, like these guys, Max Adler, McKay, each had like certain number of caused turnovers, at least 3 or 4 ground balls each. Like it was, I mean, their defense completely shut them down. So
right, and McKay's playing like 3 positions right now. He's played LSM.
Yeah.
He's played close. He's played short stick D midi. I mean, he's great. So
yeah. So I mean,
crazy.
I didn't think they would match up nearly that well. So props to the Chaos.
Absolutely, good game. What we got next?
Next up, Atlas Water Dogs. Samwise. What do you got?
Why'd you say it like that?
Sam, you got this game?
Say it like that.
Sam, you got this game? Huh? Talk to us. What happened?
I just done a neutral voice. Whatever.
Tell us what happened.
So great game. One of the best games of the weekend. I think actually number 3, honestly. So Water Dogs came out on top, 10-9. Very, very close game all the way through. Atlas started off a little strong with Baptiste winning like 5 straight faceoffs, and that offense is deadly on that break because they have so many options. But as the game went on, Dylan Ward. Dylan Ward. God, man. Was playing on his head. He was amazing, and had a few awesome saves that I think kept the Water Dogs ahead in momentum. But it came down to possession because I believe it was in the third quarter. Baptiste wasn't in, and the Water Dogs jumped on that. Withers got a few, and that's kind of that's the Atlas's game. Winning the face-off, getting that possession, and then getting it to Teat or
what Romar, the guy. Yeah.
Why am I forgetting his name? Romar Dennis. Coming off and then doing a split dodge, and that whole offense starts.
Right.
But at the same time, they did get a little. When Teat got it in his hands, they weren't moving off ball, so they kind of lost some momentum there. But overall, great game, and I definitely expect to see both of these teams in the semifinals. Absolutely. At least. Or actually, Water Dogs are in the semifinals, so
yeah, they're already in. My only thing about that game, and I'm glad Sam brought up Dylan Ward, is I always thought the Water Dogs were a goalie away from being that team. And those saves that you're talking about in the third quarter are the ones he wasn't making in the other games I was watching. So maybe Dylan got hot at the right time, and it's kind of right what they need. But I've been trying to figure out why the Water Dogs are so good, and they just have talent all over the field. They just have talent. I mean, that's really it. They have so much talent, so they're so fun to watch. Matt, you got anything?
Yeah, I mean, I picked Water Dogs to win this game, which, definitely could have seen Atlas winning. I was certainly expecting this to be much higher scoring, but
Right.
yeah, I mean, I agree with what Sam said. I think I could see Archers making it to the semis as well, but depending on how the bracket goes, these teams, I think, are the most balanced team by far, the two most balanced teams. I mean, both teams can compete face-off, defensively, have insane offensive power. Both goalies are playing great.
Yep.
So I think if they played again, this would be a one-goal game again.
Yep,
I'm not sure who would win, but I think it's just always going to be super competitive with these two teams.
Right. Like Sam said, it was close throughout. I mean, I don't think it was ever more than a 2-goal game, maybe a 3-goal game, but it was good.
Yeah.
Real good game. So.
Yeah. Well, so moving on, we'll talk briefly about Cannon's Chrome real quick, just for a second. But
I don't think this should be brief.
Yeah, I think we should spend a lot of time.
I don't think we should be brief.
It was fun. It was fun. We got to go. We'll see you guys for episode 4.
Yeah. Are you saying that because the Chrome season's over?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying that, though. I appreciate it.
I got you.
So Cannon's Chrome, this was your winning in game for the last seed in the playoffs. It was a rough season for my Chrome, but they got down big early. They started to come back. Lyle ended up coming alive in the second half. Paul Rabel, we were just talking about this, officially healthy, officially
100%.
still one of the best players in the league.
Scary.
That 2-point bomb was
Dude.
all gas.
Just everything. But
Everything. Right.
He had 4 goals. He had a 2-pointer, which was that 2-pointer was ultimately the dagger for
That's
Chrome.
the dagger.
They
right?
had made it a 2-goal game. Then it goes right back to 4 points. I was like, this is over. So one thing I noticed, Chrome won 62% of the faceoffs. Connor Farrell played lights out. They had 48 shots shots.
Okay.
Compared to Cannons, who only had 37. But their shooting percentage was like 21% or something. It was disgusting.
Oh,
it was
God.
awful.
Nothing was on target.
I was waiting for the kicker.
So I mean, with how competitive this league is, you scored 10 goals in a game, you're not going to win much. Although this week these games were pretty low scoring, all things considered. But I mean, they got to start putting balls on net to be competitive. So Colin Heacock had 4 goals. He had 2 absolutely filthy behind the back goals. But so Cannons end up winning. Looking forward to next season. I'm staying positive. Really holding the Cannons to 13 goals in my mind is pretty solid with that offense, especially with Paul Rabel coming alive. But I mean, I love Terefenko. We're getting JT Giles Harris and Nick Grill on defense next year. Really just got to get the offense to figure their shit out, which getting Jordan Wolf back will be huge. But again, season ends for my Chrome. It was a disaster of a year. So Cannons end up winning 13-10, get the last playoff spot.
Also, it might just be me. I did not notice. I probably just wasn't paying attention. I did not notice the Cannons lost by 4 games this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that last week.
Yeah, you probably did, and I just wasn't paying attention. But that's wild.
Yeah.
So
kind of a game of inches. And I think the Chrome, and especially Matt as a Chrome fan, I think you should be very much looking forward to next year. I mean, think about the Whip Snakes without Rambo, right? You guys didn't have your Rambo this year. Like, you guys didn't have the guy who starts the offense from behind. I think you guys will get a new young goalie. You guys will get a nice draft pick too. So as far as future is concerned, I think the Chrome are in a good spot, but I'm honestly really sad to see Joey Galloway hanging out because he was one of the first goalies I loved at Syracuse. I mean, he changed the game. He did things that goalies never did. Joe White's also done. Joe White is the first guy I ever saw throw a bounce pass. So those guys are officially retired, and they definitely left a legacy.
Sad day. And Galloway actually had a really good game. I mean,
great game.
He led in 13, but some of the saves he was making were wild. But
so
yeah, it was a rough ending to the season. But I'll give the Cannons credit. They're if they play like that next week, whoever they're playing, that is not a gimme for them just because of the last seed.
Yeah, you got to put the numbers aside. So that was good.
Yeah.
What do we got next?
Next up, we got Chaos Redwood. Samwise.
We got
another great game. Another very evenly matched game, especially Chaos. as we were just talking about, finding, kind of getting into swinging things this late in the season, and it was a fun game to watch from end to end. Chase Frazier is probably the best pickup this season by far. Yeah, 5 goals, 5 goals on 10 shots, so you can't complain about that. Blaze again, playing amazing, and we can't doubt him anymore. The man is so good. And
was anyone doubting him?
Huh?
Was anyone doubting him?
No,
I want to have a conversation with them.
Yeah,
No.
James were talking about.
I kind of was, right. I kind of was. I thought they
Oh,
couldn't
you
let
mean
Blaze make.
against Redwoods?
I mean in general, honestly.
Just in general.
I mean in general.
That's a hot take.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not a hot take. It's not a hot take. I didn't think Blaze could sustain 20+ saves a game. That's what I meant. You can't rely on Brit.
That's
context.
That was the point.
It's context.
You were doubting he could keep up a historic streak like that.
That is correct. That is correct. I'm not doubting Blaze Reardon.
Okay. That clarifies that a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, since that's cleared up, Max Adler dominated this game in faceoffs because TD Lerland wasn't it. No. Well, I think TD Lerland has shown the entire season that he's dominant. And then,
Correct.
Adler might be just underneath him skill-wise, but he took advantage of a position player not being there. So, Miles Jones showed up again. He had a great weekend. 5 points. One 2-point shot, which was a huge goal for the Redwoods in the third quarter.
Massive.
Huge goal. And kind of saved some momentum that they were losing at the time. And turned into a great game with Garnsey putting it away with 40 seconds left or something. So overall, great game. It's hard to predict where they're going to be in the playoffs just because both teams are really good. But I think Chaos goes farther than Redwoods purely because
hot take.
Yeah.
It's not that hot. Lukewarm.
It's a hot take.
It's not that hot.
It's a hot take.
I think
it could happen, but it's a hot take.
Dude, it's not okay.
Yeah.
Hot takes happen.
I think a couple things about that game. I think the biggest thing is Miles Jones's 2-pointer. It was high to high. He did not change planes. And he pulled up from about 18. His foot was like a foot behind the 2-point line when he went to shoot.
Those are big ass feet too.
Some big feet. So, that's probably a 16-yard. People don't understand like shooting from that like far away. Like you would look stupid in front of a goalie. Like it's such a bomb. But I think I'm just like Sam. I have no idea what the Red Bulls are going to do. Is Perk healthy? Is TD healthy? Does Timmy play like Timmy did last year in the playoffs, or is he playing like a couple games we saw this year where, he kind of little suspect. So I'm not sure what the Red Bulls are going to do, but I'm glad that people are giving Frazier his accolades because he's playing that well, and I think he might be able to kind of wipe out the loss of Chris Cluccia. So we'll see. We shall see. Matt, anything?
No, I actually didn't get to catch this game. Was on the way back from out of town, but I went 0 for 2 with Chaos picks this week. I thought they would lose on Friday and win on Sunday. So
a lot of people thought that. So
yeah, it's the same thing. It's like and it's with the PLO in general. I just don't know what to expect in the playoffs. So I'm excited, but I obviously, not having TD, Perkovic being hurt, that's definitely going to, hinder Redwoods a little bit. So
absolutely,
they're going to start relying on Miles Jones, other guys, Ryder Garnsey probably to step up and kind of fill those gaps. But, I'm very curious to see how this plays out in the next few weeks.
Absolutely.
Last game of the week, Archers Whip Snakes. James, what do you got?
So Sam said he had the game of the weekend. I think this one was easily. The game was as good as advertised. The winner would get the 3 seed. The loser would get the 5 seed and actually end up playing the Redwoods first round. It was fast, high energy. As I said before, Connor Fields' trade really worked out for the Archers. He's playing like his old self when he's also sharing the ball, which he didn't do when he was with the Chaos. It was honestly just like a great way to end the season because Connor Fields scored the game-winning goal in overtime at his old college where he dominated lacrosse. Like he's at home at Albany, and he's now with a different team. So it was like a kind of good story to end the season on, a goal by somebody who kind of like fell off a little bit and has found his new team and got to score at home. The Archers spread out scoring like I've never seen, honestly. They had 8 players score more than one. That's goals or an assist. Rambo looks 100%. He was aggressive, dodging when he wanted to. I loved watching Rambo against kind of like the Archers' tough defenders because it was like strong against strong. But because Rambo's Rambo, he really got topside whenever he wanted to. Your only best bet is to really slow him down. So both teams look really good going into a championship run. Adam Gittleman and Kyle both look back to normal. If you missed the game, it's worth a rewatch. And honestly, it's definitely a preview of the championship in DC. So final was 15-14, overtime goal by Connor Fields. So great game if you didn't catch it.
Yeah, I missed this one as well, but I'm a little upset my hot take didn't hit. I thought this was the game Archers would put up 20+ goals.
That's right. I forgot about that. I
mean,
mean,
close.
I was going to say, no, it could have been.
This was, I mean, to score 29 goals in a game combined is wild. So
absolutely.
But this is, again, wouldn't be surprised if these two teams end up at the semis, depending on how the brackets play out. But
100%.
Yeah, I think if Rambo doesn't play, Archers win this game by 3 or 4 goals.
Yep.
But the fact that they still won with Whipsnakes pretty much fully healthy is definitely a sign that Archers are not screwing around this year. But
and I don't know if Rambo got hurt at the end of the game, but he definitely wasn't in. And Gutterding came in and scored 2 huge goals. So
did he?
I don't know what that was about. I don't know why Rambo was on the sideline, but I remember seeing him talking to the coach, and Rambo kind of gave a nod, and they kind of let Gutterding rung for a little bit. And the highlight of Gutterding scoring his first goal since he's like been traded and such is like super emotional. You should definitely check it out.
Damn, that's big. I'll have to peep that.
It's huge. It's huge. So it was good. It's good.
Sam, anything to add?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch this game also, but yeah. I don't really have much. I don't want to comment on it if I didn't watch it. So.
Definitely get a watch. What do we got next, Matt?
I get that. Well, that wraps up our game recap. So looking ahead to next week, again, playoff bracket is set. It's going to be pretty wild first round of games starting Friday night. 3 of us will actually be together in person watching these. So might have to do a little live episode there. That'd be kind of cool.
I like that.
First game we have real quick is Chaos Archers. Sam, who do you like in this one?
Chaos.
¿Por qué?
Some of the reasons I stated earlier. I just think Frazier going off. Blaze is still playing great. And I think it's just overall their offense and way it's clicking right now. Defense is definitely playing very intense. I just think they have a complete team, and not saying the Archers don't. Like, I think this is going to be a great game. I think it's going to come down to 1 goal. Honestly, it's going to be a late goal. And I think, excuse me, I think faceoffs is going to be a big thing in this game. And yeah, I think Chaos take it. I want to say 14-13.
Okay.
I like that. James, what do you got?
I got the homer pick. I think Blaze stays hot. Frazier takes him home. 16-14 Chaos.
Ooh, I like the score too.
Right? What you got, Matt?
I'm going Archers. I'm
okay.
a black sheep here, but Gittleman's still playing great in net. Sorry. Gittleman's playing great in net. Same save percentage as Blaze. I mean, this is going to be I think it's going to be which goalie shows up more.
Yeah.
But
is Adam at like 60%?
62. Blaze is at 61. No, backwards. Blaze at 62.
Okay.
Gittleman 61.
Dude, Adam's been playing on his head. Jesus.
Yeah, he has. I knew Chaos just beat them on Friday, but I didn't realize the Archers had 21 turnovers in that game. I don't see that happening again. Eamon was 0 for 3, had 0 or 2 points, I think. But
right.
I think that game was a fluke. I don't know. I can't see Archers losing that game twice. But
sure.
I picked Archers to win on Friday, and I was wrong. So see if I'm wrong again.
Cool.
Next game up, we got Cannons Atlas. James, kick us off.
Atlas win this. Cannons have the talent. but they haven't really been able to put it together. I think Atlas win by 5. I think my boy Romar goes for a hattie.
Nice.
Nice. I know Sam picked Cannons. I'm taking Atlas here. Atlas are the number 1 seed in a lot of people's minds. I don't think Cannons can hang with them, but
Yep.
like I said earlier, if we see the same Paul Rabel that we saw last week, this game is going to be a lot closer than people think.
It's true. It's true.
So, Sam, what do you got?
Homer pick Atlas. Reasons they're better because they have best face-off guy in the league. Baptiste. Yes, he is. Don't shake your head.
You mean because TD's out now?
Because TD's out.
Right.
Nope. Still think he's
Okay.
better.
Hot take. I'm gonna get a sound like a siren to play for all these hot takes.
I like that. But you can't play it for. But you can't play it for like warm takes though. Like
Yeah.
whatever.
And the other reason is I don't think the Cannons defense can match up to their offense.
Sure.
And
yeah, I agree with that.
I think Teak goes off this game.
Love it.
And I agree with James. It's going to be 4 or 5 goal game.
Sure.
Okay. They're not going to hit 20, but it'll be up there.
Yeah. Matt, what you got?
I already gave mine. We're going to move on to the last game,
That's
which
right.
is Whipsnakes Redwoods. I'll kick this one off. I'm taking Whipsnakes. Like I said earlier, I think they exposed the Redwoods, man, especially on the faceoff and the defensive side of the ball. Rambo, Zed, and Gutterding is just it's too much for their defense. Nardell is red hot on faceoffs. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if Redwoods take this. I think it's only going to be a 1 or 2 goal spread, but I'm taking Whips. Sam?
Like that.
I'm taking Redwoods.
Okay. Show your
I
work.
think one big reason, I think Trotner's playing awesome. Just the way I saw him play versus the Chaos. Man's locked in. And I know, we hit on before faceoffs, but I do think their defense can stand up to the Whipsnakes. Not, probably won't get every fucking slide and everything, but I think it'll be close. And I think they're Miles Jones and Pinnell and those guys, I think they're going to show up. I think Miles Jones is going to have a huge game.
James, real quick, who you got?
Real quick, Whipsnakes win this one. Rainbow's healthy. Guttering's out there starting to get into the offense. Whips win by 3. Easy stuff.
Good work, boys. All right, well, that is all we got for this week, guys. Again, hit us up on Twitter or Instagram at PLL Quick Stix with your predictions this week. Other than that, we will see y'all next week.
Peace.